All right, former flat earther here. I'm embarrassed on behalf of the truth community that we're pushing this thing. We've been lied to on a lot of things. Guess what? The earth being a ball is not one of them. And I can prove that to you in hopefully less than 5 minutes here. And I'm specifically talking to flat earthers, okay? Because this isn't require a lot of scientific knowledge or anything like that. This is something that it's just obvious, okay? So here it goes. Here's the flat earth map that we use, right? And all I want to do here is establish that these longitudinal lines correspond to, I think, solar noon, essentially, right? So whether the sun is going around on this map or whether we're spinning or whatever it is, obviously there's a cycle that happens every 24 hours, and these are just solar noon. The sun's doing, its thing. So those longitudinal lines are straight. They're going through all this land. You can't mess with that stuff. Now, flat earthers, what do we like to say once someone says, well, what about the globe? I mean, what about the fact that those longitudinal lines converge here at the south? Whereas here on this map, they're going out and out, and they're getting bigger and bigger. And what do flat earthers say? They start talking about flight paths. There's no flight path from here to here. We've looked and they're non-existent. Or, if someone points one out, well, we're, hitting some sort of wind current to make it seem like it's not this far. We talk about Antarctica and how we can't go there, or about ship's captain's logs from hundreds of years ago that are way too much for this. Like, Antarctica should only be so much here, but the ship, it couldn't figure out why was there so much land it was circling. So stuff like that, right? Here's the thing though. Those longitudinal lines are going through land all over this thing. So these are prescribed distances that only work on a ball. Okay? Because again, in this map, these distances out here, it's like 2 times as big, 3 times as big, 4 times as big. So already, we don't have to go to Antarctica. We don't need to talk about the ocean at all. We don't need to talk about 24-hour sun, nothing like that. Time zones, who cares? This is land that has been mapped. This land is obviously working every day. These distances are being verified by all the people that live down here. Okay? Not that they're actually being verified, but let's just say that if this was being fudged by a factor of 2 or 3x, people would figure it out pretty quickly. So tell me, flat earthers, why is this not talked about? I mean, look, I've heard people say, well, look at Australia. It doesn't look like that. Look at, and then what if flat earthers say, oh, well, all maps are projections and you can't, we can't quite verify things, and maybe, come on, people. These are verifiable distances. How many of these little squares would you need to verify before you realize that there's no way they could be hiding 2 to 3 times the land somehow? That's not there's no way that's happening. And you know what's funny? You take a look at this map. This map is actually useful. And Gleason himself was a flat earther. What did he basically do? I don't know this story for exactly, but he basically just took the maps that were, this map might have come after him, but there were maps with this kind of a projection. You know how you make the flat earth map work? You use this legend right here. You use the legend. Now it makes sense. This one here at 75 degrees, 269 miles. Look at how big that is. This matches up here at the North Pole, 269 miles. That's the only way this map corresponds to reality. We talk about, oh, we can see too far. I don't care anymore. I don't care. Refraction must be occurring. There's some optical thing happening where we can see a little further than we would think we should be able to. All the other flat earth stuff, I don't even care about. Do you understand? NASA might be lying to us about everything, except for this. People, we talk about going out and doing our own observations. That's literally what humans did to create this map. They didn't know it was a ball. You know, that's why all ancient cultures had their cosmology as a flat earth, because they didn't realize it's so big that you think it's flat. It's only after we started mapping the terrain. What more advanced observation can you have than actually creating a map of the terrain? And, you know, then there's like Marty Leeds talking about how up there in the sky, it's all, you know, metaphysical, the heavens. We can't ever touch that stuff. It's, you know, we can't really measure it, all these things. And then he talks about the earth as being the opposite. That's something that we can measure. Well, dude, they measured this. This is a irrefutable proof that we live on a globe that humans earned. And you don't even need to know anything other than that these lines actually correspond to real places on the ground and solar noon. These lines can't be fudged, which means that geometrically, this is a sphere. That's the only way it works. It's just simple spherical geometry. This is like fifth grade level stuff. And that's why, to me, this is the ultimate proof. I don't know why we need to have anything else. Like, there is literally nothing else to talk about. I mean, of course we could talk about space and what, you know, is it geocentric, whatever. You know, I don't even care anymore. I'm just like baffled that we are pushing this for years and years and years when we can't even explain this. These distances are being verified every single day all over the globe. Ships, people, cities. Come on, people. How many of these would you need to be verified before you realize there's just no other way? That you can't map the terrain. If it is a sphere and we map the terrain, there's no way they could be. I mean, it would be self-evident. We would figure it out eventually. And we did. End of story. So, Austin, Whitsitt, Flat Earth Dave, Steve from Spacebusters, Amanda Vollmer, Conspiracy Music Guru, all you leaders pushing this thing. Who else is there? Marty Leeds, and on and on and on. I mean, Stephen A. Young, I loved your book, man. Explain this to me. How are we pushing this if we're honest truth seekers? We fell into groupthink that is delusional. I don't care if we can think we can see too far. I don't care about all the other anomalies that you think you have with Flat Earth. If there isn't an answer for this, it's game over, and there isn't an answer because it's just simple geometry. Can we please clean this up and move on and expose the actual lies happening in this world? This is embarrassing.